Hello, everybody. Hello, good morning, good day, good evening, good whatever time it is where you are. I hope you're doing well today. It's day 15. Woo! I feel like, I don't know, like we're getting near the end. Like 15 is a significant number. I've been hearing from a number of y'all who, in the comments, I talked to my mom too last night because she has been doing this challenge, along with us. And she said that she's not having pain in her body anymore. Her back's not hurting. Her neck's not hurting. And I'm hearing similar stuff in the comments that people who have had back pain or shoulder issues or all different kind of stuff are feeling relief from that. And that is awesome. And that is a function of you practicing consistently, you finding time in your day to get up and get moving and do some gentle movement and some mindful type of yoga practice. So good job on you. Very good job. Me too. I'm feeling well. My back pain is non-existent these days. And usually that's a long story. Usually it's pretty minimal, but now that I've been practicing daily again, there's no pain at all. Super exciting. A couple of comments coming to an end. I'm feeling good and enjoy getting up early to start my practice. Yay! I'm a day behind and just finished day 14. And since I had to get up at 5. Oh, yay. Hi, Mary. That's wonderful. Thanks for popping in and saying hello. All right. Well, today, let me get some water. Okay. Today, let me adjust this too real quick. I'd like to start off answering a question that came in the comments yesterday. I think I've had this question more than once. Hi, Nicole. Good morning. And the question is, what do I do if my feet hurt or if they're fatigued while I'm doing the yoga practice? And, barring that there's some medical issue going on, if it's just that your feet are tight or they're unaccustomed to doing any kind of exercise, this is the guidance that I'll give you. But if you think that there's something serious going on with your feet, of course, please go see your doctor and ask them for some advice. But if we have pain in our feet because they are tight or because of inactivity, they're just not used to it, this is what we can do. Why is this turned? Sorry, hold on. Give me just a minute. Thought I had fixed this up already. If you have a sharp eye, you might have noticed that I have props over here in the corner today. I'm going to be using them a little bit. You don't have to have them, but I just want to demonstrate how they're used in case you want to use props like these or something similar. But anyway, to the feet. So sometimes we have, this discomfort in the feet, and we can do things kind of like we've been doing in the yoga practice where we stretch out the feet, stretch out the top of your foot by bringing the toes down. And this is a little bit behind your standing foot. And then you can reach the top of the foot forward to stretch out, the whole top of the foot, front of the ankle, and even up into the lower leg. So you can do that. You can also stretch out your feet or your calves, which will help your feet, bending your knees generously. So just like this, keeping the heels down, bending the knees with the intention of stretching out the calves. You can also, I'll go this way now, bring the bottoms of the feet down and lift the heel up as much as you can to stretch out the bottom of the foot. This is one thing you can do. And then let me show you one more thing that's really cool. And I actually learned this from a student of mine who, a few years ago, who was a child at the time. Now he's a teenager, but I'm not sure where he learned this, but I thought it was super interesting. I'm going to zoom this a little so that you can see well. So you can stretch your toes and your feet out by bringing most of the toes back and the big one forward. This is not the most comfortable on the floor, but if you're using a yoga mat, that will be much better. I'm going to actually get a mat out so I can show this to you because I want to show you two different versions. Okay, so most of the toes, let me do this, most of the toes back and the big one forward, and you can stretch out this way. If your feet are so tight that you cannot do this, you could also do it with your hand, like sit down, hold on to your toes, and draw your toes in opposite directions. And then, of course, you can put big toe back and the rest of the toes forward and stretch out this way as well. So it's not the most comfortable thing, stretching out the feet in that way, but it's kind of fascinating how effective it is. Ooh, it's one of those like hurts that feels good type of thing. Anyway, that's how you can stretch out your feet and, start to work on their mobility so that the yoga practice feels more comfortable. And, just to make sure, I said it, but I'm going to reiterate, you can do that by putting your feet down onto the floor and stretching them out in that way, or you can just hold on to your toes and stretch them in opposite directions, stretch them out to the sides a little bit. Someone was making reference to an older video that I made along with Angela, who's a yoga teacher in the studio. Like, it's a really old video, but she's still there. We still work together. And she recommends putting your fingers between your toes, and you can either just stay like that or even rotate the foot around, and that also helps to stretch out not only the toes but also the ankle. So basically just working with your feet a little bit. Okay, let's get started with today's practice. Do y'all have any requests while I'm setting up this camera? You can type them in the comments. Do y'all wonder why I practice without a mat? Whoops, sorry, that might have been really loud on the microphone. I do practice on a mat actually when I practice by myself, but when I'm here doing things on camera, I kind of need a mat going in Warrior 1 to 3. Okay, going this direction and this direction, and I don't want to be moving the mat around and around because it's just kind of disruptive. So I can just practice without a mat. My floor somehow is tacky enough that it's appropriate. So, all right, let's get started. Go ahead and set up your comfortable standing position. Relax your shoulders. Find your good posture. Be as tall as you can be. Start to engage your abdominal muscles. Relax your shoulders. You might even put a little bit of engagement into the muscles in your upper back, drawing your shoulder blades slightly toward each other. Okay, and then once you find your good posture, start to concentrate on your breathing. Smooth out your inhales and exhales. All right, let's start some moving now. On inhale, bring your arms out toward the sides and up. Palms face in, maybe even touch. Exhale, arms move out and down. Now, just the left arm. Inhale, out and up. Exhale, out and down. Then the right side. Inhale, out and up. Exhale, out and down. Try to keep your spine steady. Here's both arms. Inhale, out and up. Exhale, down. Inhale, spine is steady. Left arm, out and up. Exhale, down. Inhale, right arm. And exhale. Then both arms. Abs are still engaged. Reach up high, exhale. Now the left arm. Inhale, right arm. Exhale. Both arms. This is our last round. Exhale. Spine is steady. Inhale, left arm. And exhale. Inhale, right arm. And exhale. Very good work. Bring your shoulders up toward your ears and back and down. Up and back and down. One more. Up, back, and down. Please interlace your fingers. Press your palms down. Whew, this gets me every time. Tightness in the hands and the fingers and the forearms. All right, let's start some moving. So inhale, bring your arms forward to chest height. Exhale, slowly down. Inhale again, chest height. Exhale, down. Now a little higher. Inhale and down. Inhale, use your Ujjayi breath if you'd like. Exhale. Now a little higher still. Inhale. Exhale. And inhale. And exhale. Okay, release your hands. Flex and extend your fingers. Open them wide. Make fists. Open wide. Make fists. Okay. Very good. Step your feet wide. Oh, did you hear my hip? It popped. Inhale, stretch your arms out. Exhale, left side bend. Inhale, arms stretch out. Exhale, right side bend. Inhale, arms stretch out. Exhale, arms rest down. Here we go again. Inhale. Exhale, left. Inhale, center. Exhale, right. Inhale, center. Exhale, arms rest down. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Please do 3 more and go at your pace. Whenever you've finished, go ahead and step your feet together. Okay, let's work on some forward folding. Set your feet up a little bit apart, and we're just getting started with the forward folding, so be gentle with the first round or two, and then you can increase your intensity as you go. Inhale, arms forward and up, abs are engaged. Exhale, bend your knees, fold as much as you're comfortable. Inhale, use your strong legs to come on back up. Exhale, shoulders relax down. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, bend your knees and fold. Inhale, strong legs to come up. Exhale, shoulders relax down. Inhale. Exhale, fold. Inhale, if you're up for it, you could extend your arms up. Exhale, arms forward and down. Please do 3 more, your version, your pace. All right. Whenever you finish that, of course, take a break from it. Let your arms relax down. Feeling the need for some twisting. Shall we try something new today? All right, we're going to try something new. This is going to involve elevating up onto the toes and twisting. You don't have to elevate up onto the toes. If you try it, or even if you watch me do it and you say, nope, that's not for me, you can just keep your feet down. It's totally fine. It's just an extra element that you can add if you want to. Okay, here we go. If you want, actually, you might just watch the first round, or if you feel comfortable keeping up with the instructions the first time, of course, you're welcome to do that. All right, so what we're going to do is on inhale, elevate up onto the toes and bring the arms up. Then exhale, twist toward your left side. Inhale, arms move up. Exhale, twist toward the right side. Inhale, arms move up. Exhale, heels and arms come down and they're trying to land at the same time. There's a lot going on there. Let's try it again. Inhale, up. Exhale, left side twist. Your palms will face down. Inhale, up, palms face in. Exhale, twist to the right, palms face down. Inhale, arms move up. Exhale, slowly, heels down and arms down. Try to land them at the same time. Okay, find your version, lifting your heels or not. And let's do 3 more. You can go at your pace. Please do take a break anytime if you need to. Practice kindness with your body. Ooh, that was a lot. All right, whenever you finish, probably you feel like stretching out your calves. That's a lot of work in the calves. So just like we mentioned earlier, we talked about earlier, keep your heels down, bend your knees generously, and stretch out your calf muscles. You just go at your pace, bend as much as is comfortable for you or necessary to stretch your calves out. Some people might prefer, if you have uncomfortable knees, you can put your foot up on like the bottom part of the wall. I don't know if you can see that, but putting your foot up on the bottom part of the wall and then just kind of leaning forward toward the wall so that you're stretching your calf out in that way. Another option for you. Whew, okay, now let's get into some balancing. Okay, we're going to try another new thing. This doesn't even look like yoga, but it's a very good warm-up for balancing. So step your feet just a little bit wider than you normally stand. And shift your weight over onto your left foot. Just lightly lift the right toes. And then shift over onto your right foot. Find your balance here. Shift left. Find your balance. Shift right. Balance. Left. Balance. Right. Balance. Notice if you can balance better with your abs engaged. It's definitely a good thing to do. You can start to feel your leg muscles and your hip muscles activating to help you with this balancing. Okay, great. Then take a break. Go ahead and step your feet wider. And let's do a little bit of wide-legged forward fold with lunging. So we'll do 2 rounds of forward folding, and then we'll add lunging in the 3rd round. Inhale, arms go forward and up, palms face front. Exhale, bend your knees and fold as much as you're comfortable. On an inhale, walk your way back up, strong legs. Exhale, shoulders relax. Inhale, arms forward and up. Exhale, knees bend, fold. Inhale, walk your hands up. Exhale, shoulders relax. Now, inhale, arms up. Exhale, knees bend, fold as much as you're comfortable. And you can rest your hands down. I'm just going to grab a block so I can demonstrate this. All right, so you can bring your hands onto a prop like a block or books or something like that. And that way it's a little bit easier to reach the floor when you're working on your lunging from side to side. And go ahead and begin your lunging anytime you're ready. Just like we did yesterday, you're bending one knee and shifting your weight over to the other side. Working on any tightness that exists in your inner thighs. You may feel this all the way down to the inner part of the knee or maybe even into the calf. Okay, and then settle back to the center. Bend your knees and walk your hands up to come all the way back to standing upright. Wonderful. Okay, go ahead and get the block out of the way. And let's start to work on this sequence, this requested sequence of warrior 1 to warrior 3. So start, please, with your left foot forward and your right foot back. Okay. Let your stance be a little bit wide. Your hips are facing toward the front. Okay. We're going to do a little bit of a different variation today. So what we're going to do is on inhale, bend your front knee directly over your ankle and sweep your arms back. Then exhale, shift onto your front foot, and your back toes can stay down or your leg can come up. Do what's comfortable. Carefully set your back foot down, bring your arms back. Palms are facing front. Exhale, knees straightens, arms down. Inhale, abs engage, arms go back. Exhale, shift onto your front foot. Inhale, set your foot down, arms go back. Exhale, knees straightens, arms down. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. 2 more, please, your pace. That's intense. Go ahead and step your left foot back when you're finished. Whew, and just take a rest for a little bit. Breathe. Really does require a lot of concentration to stand on one foot. It's a great mindfulness practice. Okay, step your right foot forward. Left is back. Feet are wide. Hips are facing front. All right. So just a reminder, while you're doing all of this, keep your abs engaged and also draw your shoulder blades toward each other. On inhale, bend your front knee, arms move back, palms are facing front. Exhale, shift onto your front foot, arms stretch out. Inhale, knee bends, arms reach back. Exhale, knee straightens, arms down. Inhale. Exhale, onto your front foot. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Abs are strong, arms reach back. Exhale, shift onto your front foot. Back toes are down or up. Inhale. Carefully set the back foot down. Exhale. Knee straightens. All right, 2 more. Go at your pace, please. When you're finished, step your feet together. Smooth your breathing. Okay, let's wrap up the standing section with one more sequence. One of my favorites, the triangle twist. And we're going to combine it with wide-legged forward fold. All right, let's try it. So step your feet wide. On an inhale, stretch your arms out. Exhale, bring your right hand across to your left side for a twist. Inhale, arms come out to the sides. Exhale, left hand across to your right side for a twist. Inhale, arms stretch out. Exhale, arms rest down. Then inhale, arms move forward and up. Exhale, bend your knees and fold. If you're up for it, you can stretch your arms forward. Otherwise, walk your hands up. This is an inhale. Exhale, arms move forward and down. Keep going, please. Inhale, stretch your arms out. Exhale, right hand to left side, twist. Inhale, arms extend out. Exhale, left hand to right side, twist. Inhale, arms stretch out. Exhale, arms rest down. Inhale, arms forward and up. Exhale, bend your knees and fold. Inhale, come up, either walking your hands up or stretching your arms up overhead. Exhale, arms move forward and down. All right, so blocks are another great option here. If you're working on bringing your hands to the floor, but they don't quite reach, you can put a little bit of height up here, one for each hand, and work in that way. Please go ahead and do 3 more. Go at your pace. Whenever you finish with that, step your feet together. And then go ahead and move to lying down on your mat or on the floor, however you're practicing. You can lie down with your knees bent or straight. Please do stretch your arms out toward the sides. Remember that you can use something like a folded towel or a folded blanket to give yourself a little bit of a pillow in case that's more comfortable for your neck and your shoulders. Doesn't need to be very tall. We just want to have the head in a neutral position. That means that your neck is about parallel to the floor and your nose is pointing up toward the ceiling. Sometimes if we have a lot of tightness in the neck and we're not using the pillow, what happens is the nose points kind of like back behind you on the ceiling, but a little bit that direction. And if we have too much height under the head, what happens is the nose ends up pointing that way. So that's how you know where neutral is, where your eyes are just naturally looking upward. Okay, so I think I've already asked you to stretch your arms out, but just in case, go ahead and stretch your arms out. And spend a few conscious breaths here. Let's aim for about 3 or 4, slow and smooth. Let's go ahead now and get some more movement into the body. So if you would, bend your knees, bring them up toward your chest or toward your shoulders, whichever you prefer. Do take a hold of them and rock a little bit side to side. Okay, we're going to try something new today. Let me remember to tell you that if you do decide to use some height behind your head, just monitor how your neck is feeling. And at some point, you may realize you need less height or you can remove it completely. When the shoulders relax, then, we sometimes don't need that height under the head anymore. Okay, so the knees are up toward the chest. On inhale, extend your legs up toward the ceiling and flex your feet. Exhale, relax your feet. Hug the knees again up toward your shoulders or chest. Inhale, extend up and flex. Exhale, knees hug in. Inhale, extend up and flex. Exhale, knees hug in. Inhale, up and flex. Exhale, knees hug in. Then please extend your legs up. Bring your hands on the outsides of the knees. Inhale, bring your feet out wide. Exhale, together. The hands can help here. Inhale, the hands press the legs wide. Exhale, hands press the legs together. 3 more rounds. Inhale and exhale and inhale and exhale. Last one. Inhale and exhale. Okay, go ahead and set your feet back down. Stretch your arms out. Palms are face up. All right, step your feet wide. Bring your knees over toward the left side. And if you want to intensify this, think about reaching your top knee, your right knee, forward toward the narrow side of your mat. Effectively, what will happen is that your right hip will lift up. And usually we feel more stretching happening in the front of the thigh and up into the region in front of the hip. Okay, when you're ready, bring the knees back to the center and then bring your knees all the way over toward the right. And then if you're up for it, reach your knee forward toward the narrow part of the mat. Your left hip lifts up, a little more stretching in the front of your left thigh and hip. Okay, inhale, bring your knees back up to the center and then walk your feet a little closer to each other. Let's please work on hips and glutes now. We've been doing so much strengthening. Now let's stretch it out. So you're crossing your left ankle over your right knee. If you have a lot of tightness in your hip, you may feel stretching happening at this stage. You might choose to just stay right here if this is what's appropriate for you this morning or today. If you want to take this further, if that feels right for your body, start to bring your legs up toward your chest. And this is different than how most people teach this, but I like to hold on to the bent knee, the one that's in front, and the foot. And the reason I do it that way is so that you have flexibility to bend your elbows and adjust your intensity. You may have seen the other way that many people teach this, which is holding on behind this thigh. And especially for people with curvier bodies, this does not work well at all. And also, it doesn't give you much opportunity to adjust the posture. Okay, when you're ready, go ahead and release the side. Both feet come down onto your mat. And then right ankle over left knee. And then if it feels right, you can bring your legs up. Do take a hold of them, holding on to the knee and the foot. Or you can hold on the way you prefer. That's also fine. And adjust your intensity by bending your elbows and drawing your legs in. And breathe. Okay, go ahead and release that. Bring both of your feet back down onto the mat. And we've done such a strong practice this morning that I think we would be missing out if we didn't do a big twist. So let's do the same one we did yesterday. So roll onto your left side. Legs are in front. We'll do one round with the legs bent, and then we'll do one round with one leg extended. So when you're ready, right arm moves up toward the ceiling and back. Whew, okay. Stay for 3 smooth breaths. Remember your options if you want to unintensify this, make it less intense. You can bend your elbow or rest your arm on the side of your body. Either one is good. Okay, go ahead and untwist. Bring your arm in front. Let's go ahead and stay on this side and we'll do the second round. So you're going to extend, if you want to, your right leg in front of you. You might choose to extend the left leg toward the narrow end of the mat, just so that your thighs get out of each other's way. Okay, and then if you're up for it, right arm up toward the ceiling again, and a twist, bringing the arm back behind you. All right. See if this feels, beneficial, or does it feel like it's more trouble than it's worth? You definitely don't have to do this version if you feel it's not right for your body. Okay, start to untwist. Bring your arm around in front and then bend your knee. And then you can roll slowly onto your back and over onto your right side. We'll do the bent knee version first, so keep your knees in front of you, arms stacked, and then inhale, left arm up toward the ceiling and back. Wow. And we'll stay here and breathe. When you're ready, your left arm comes around in front of you. Then extend your left leg in front and maybe straighten the right leg down a little bit. And then you can bring your left arm once again up toward the ceiling and back. And when you get there, breathe. Do about 3 breaths. When you're finished, bring your arm in front, bend your both knees, and roll around onto your back. Okay, if it's comfortable for you, now go ahead and extend your legs down on the mat. Extend your arms out toward the sides. Gently engage your abs, draw your shoulder blades a little bit toward each other, tuck your chin slightly toward your chest. Okay, and then once all of that's worked out, walk your legs over, small steps toward the left. Just the legs. Let your pelvis stay in its original location. And once you find your comfortable maximum capacity of your legs, let them just stay there and breathe for 3 smooth breaths. After those breaths, go ahead and walk your feet to the center. Okay. And then continue walking them over toward the right side again. Maximum comfortable capacity. And then stay here and breathe for 3 smooth breaths. Okay, on an inhale, legs walk back to the center. Bend your knees, and then just kind of casually and gently rock them from side to side. Excellent. Go ahead and set up your comfortable relaxation position. You might like to, if you have a bolster or a folded blanket or a rolled up towel or something like that, you can put a little height behind your knees. For many people, it's more comfortable to lie with the legs slightly bent than completely straight. So you can set that up if you'd like. All right, once you settle into your relaxation posture, shoulders relaxed, chin slightly tucked. Of course, start to pay attention to your breathing. We'll do a new breathing practice today. So today, we're not going to work on counting. I mean, you can count if you want to, if that feels natural to you. But mainly what we're going to focus on is the sensations of breathing. We're mainly going to be paying attention in the ribs and in the lungs. So when you inhale, start to feel your lungs expanding. And when you exhale, feel your lungs contracting. Inhale is expand. Exhale is contract. If you want to, if it's helpful, you can even rest your hands on your ribs so that you can monitor better. Inhale, you're smoothly expanding the ribs. Exhale, smoothly contracting the ribs. We want to feel this movement of the ribs moving out toward the sides and then back in toward the midline of the body. Sometimes when we're stressed, we default to a less than ideal version of breathing and expanding the chest. What happens is the chest, the shoulders rise up toward your head, and it's not a good way to breathe. You can end up giving yourself shoulder pain and neck pain if you're stressed and breathing that way for too long. So it's great practice, what we're doing now of expanding out toward the sides and contracting toward the midline. Spend about 3 more breaths. Try to make both the inhale and exhale smooth. And you'll feel that in your lungs as well as in your hands if your hands are on your ribs. Okay. When you're ready, start to move or change back to regular breathing, natural breathing. And then as you feel ready, you can roll to one side and ease your way back up to sitting. Very good job. You've completed another practice. Very good work. Thank you for being here today, sharing yourself, your practice, and your positive attitude. It's very nice working with you. All right, please have a great day. Good job, everybody. I will see you again tomorrow. And as always, if you have any questions or comments, I'm happy to hear about that in the comments now during the live stream or later when you watch the recording. I'm interested to know, curious to know, this is my experience, that after this live stream ends, I can never access these comments again. Do any of you know how to do that? Or is that just the way that YouTube works? Let me know. I'm also curious to know how you're feeling after this particular practice. Feeling fine? All right, let's see. Let's move this over. And of course, another good topic for today would be if you have any questions or comments about the props. And I went over to the studio yesterday and brought these props to my house where I am now. And I'm just going to keep them here so we can continue to use them, and I can show you how to use them if you're not sure. Hi, Teresa. Good. I'm glad you're feeling well. You're most welcome. Good. Mom is feeling good too. Great. Oh, it's Monday. Do you have any asanas for doing in between sitting for long hours? Excellent question. Okay, Abby's feeling good. Oh, look, all my teacher trainees are here. Hi, Casey. Day 15 was better than the days before. How so, Nicole? What do you say? Okay, oh, so many questions rolling in. Okay, let me just kind of scroll my brain back to asanas to do in between sitting for a long time. So many of us work at a computer. Yesterday I had a comment, or maybe it was 2 days ago, come in also from a nurse who works in the emergency department. I think that's what she said. It was like emergency. It was something that felt like intense, like stressful, and probably lots of standing. She was a nurse practitioner. Anyway, so if you are doing some kind of repetitive motion, either sitting or standing as part of your work, it's a great idea to do a little bit of movement. And generally, just like in yoga, we think about the pose and the counter pose. In life too, we should think about, what posture am I doing and what would be a counter pose for that posture? What's the opposite of that? So if you're doing a lot of sitting, typically, if we're on the computer, we end up hunching. So the opposite of this would be going this direction and lifting your sternum up and doing a bit of a back bend. Another great counter pose for too much sitting is doing twists. So, you can just sit in your chair and turn to the one side. And if you have an arm on your chair or even the back of your chair, you can just bring your hand back and lightly rest it there. Let most of the work be happening in your torso, so like in the muscles in your back, rather than like taking grip and like powering yourself around to the side. So you can do twist this way. You can follow with a little bit of seated cat and cow. You can even bring your neck into it, looking up and looking down. These are great for sitting. And it's a really good idea to do this intermittently throughout the day, rather than waiting until the end of the day and trying to undo all the, damage is kind of a strong word, but undo all the tightness that happened to your body during the day. So take a break, maybe once per hour, just a little bit of movement, like even 1 minute of movement will be really beneficial. And then if you have a job where you have to stand a lot, again, we think about what's happening when we're standing and what would be a good counter pose. So sitting is a good counter pose for standing. And you can do things like, I'm just going to sit back a tiny bit so that you can see. We did this posture today where we crossed the ankle over the knee in a lying position. You can also do this sitting, granted that your knees are comfortable with it. And, if you're having to stand for a long time, your glutes and your legs are going to become tight and fatigued. So you can do something like this. If you need more intensity, you can fold forward. In fact, this is also great for people who have to sit, who also may get tight in the hips. So kind of a sitting figure 4 pose could be really nice. And then the other thing that I recommend for people who have to stand a lot, especially if you don't have an opportunity for sitting, is this half downward facing dog that we worked on previously. So you have to take a bathroom break or even just put your hands on a countertop somewhere. You can walk your feet back, stretch your arms forward, and lengthen yourself out this way. And as you remember, with this one, we're stretching out the whole back side of the body. You may feel this from the back of your ankles all the way up to your neck and your arms. Okay. Oh, we have so many comments today. So anyway, that's the my kind of quick practice for you if you have a job where you're either sitting or standing for a long time. Typically, you won't have time for 5-10 minutes of yoga practice, but you can squeeze in 1 or 2 minutes, and those postures would be really helpful. Okay, let's see. Where did I end up? When you have finished the 21 days, what would you suggest? Okay, great question. Thank you, Sharon. You could, certainly go back to day 1 and practice again. You could practice, you might write down which ones are your favorite practices and go back and do those. Some other options are, if you want to, you could sign up for the classes that we offer on Zoom. So I teach on Wednesdays. I teach 2 classes on Zoom. One is called Moderate and one is called Yoga for Bigger Bodies. And you can sign up for those. You can find the schedule and all of that on our website, which is always linked in the description below all of our videos. And I'm not the only one teaching. I have a whole team of teachers who teach with me. And together we offer classes every day of the week. And we have a chair class on Thursday mornings. And our other classes that we offer are gentle and strong. So you can find the level of intensity that works well for you. After this, if you feel that you want a customized practice for any kind of reason, like you're working on some specific goal, I'm happy to work with you one-on-one via Skype or via Zoom. I do yoga therapy that way. And I will also link that in the description. And, we have all the other YouTube videos. So, you can continue to practice in a way that works for you. For those classes I mentioned that we do on Zoom, we record all of those and send the link to the people who register. Or if you become a member of our studio, you get access to all of the recordings of all of the classes from the past 30 days. So it's kind of like a rolling library of yoga practices that you can do. And I would really recommend, regardless of which practice you choose to do, if it's YouTube or, anything, even practicing on your own, try to find a routine that works for you. Try to find a consistent time of day. That way it's more likely to happen. If you build it into your day, like I wake up, I use the restroom, I brush my teeth, if it's as routine as that, like I do these things and then I do my yoga practice, it's much more likely to occur than if you're randomly trying to fit it in at some different time every day. Thank you for that good question, Sharon. Okay, Nicole says her body feels better. Katie says, I feel good. Notice I'm tighter in my right than my left when we stretch with the right leg over the left knee. Oh, I didn't read that right. Sorry, I don't have my glasses on. Tighter in my right than my left. The stretch we did with the right. Yes. Okay. Yeah. And you may have been the same person who asked a question. Maybe not. I think it was overnight. Is it normal when one side of the body is tighter than the other? Yeah, it's really common for one side of the body to be tighter than the other. And I too was feeling that today. And typically it has to do with how we use our bodies. So if we have a habit of usually standing on the left leg with the right leg kind of extended out, we might have more tightness on the left side. Or if we have a habit of sitting with our legs crossed always in one direction, that will affect us too. So the more that you can try to be conscious and mindful and use your body in a symmetrical way throughout the day, the more you'll start to even out the tightness in the two sides of your body. Why is a twist with the extended arm and leg more intense than bent? It's a good question. All of the questions are good questions. When we bend the knee, so the question is, why is it that when we do that twist that we did at the end with one leg straight, why is that one so much more intense than with the leg bent? So when we bend the leg, we're taking out an element of work. So when we're straightening the leg, what happens is that we start to also, since the leg is kind of twisting, you can think about the height of your body if you're lying down. The leg that you're extending is the top one. So for it to kind of remain in its own plane, it would need to be floating up in the air. Like you'd need to have a block or something under your foot. But we've added a level of intensity and a level of stretching by bringing that foot all the way to the floor. So if we think about when the knees are bent, I'm going to use my fingers like this. So when we use, I'm pretending these are knees. So when we stack the legs like this, we keep them bent and we twist. See how this leg is at the same height as its hip. But when you extend it and drop it down, automatically you're stretching all of this out more. So you're twisting further twist in order to reach the one leg this way and the arm the other direction. So there's the element of a greater degree of angle of twisting, and also more of the stretching of the outer part of the leg. So all of that adds up to more intensity. Thank you, Nicole, for that one. Okay, very good. Let's see. Regarding the live chat, the live comments show when you replay the video. Oh, look at that. So when you replay, they will show up at the point. Oh, good. Thanks, Cynthia. I had no idea. All of this is new to me. Oh, okay. Okay, good. Nicole, sorry, I didn't see it yesterday, so I'm glad that I saw it today and was able to answer it for you. Okay, good. Yeah. All right. I think that's all for today. We've covered so much. These videos are getting longer and longer, but I'm really happy to answer your questions. Y'all who are doing this challenge with me, both live and later, with the recording, are asking such good questions. I can see that you're really getting this. You're really understanding the yoga practice and deepening your practice. You're not doing this solely for the purpose of exercise. You are, like, by and large, quite interested in the mindfulness, which I consider to be advanced practice. And I'm really happy to work with you on this and answer any questions that you have. I know that this mindfulness and this style of practice is not widely available, so I'm, more than happy to share all of this with you. I think that's all for today. I can hear my kids waking up, so it's time for me to start shifting gears into my other job as mom and go make some breakfast and get some kids ready for work. All right, very good. You're most welcome, Mom. I'm glad that you're feeling better and doing your yoga practice every day. It's really exciting. Yeah. All right. And I'm glad I'm doing yoga practice every day too. That's exciting also. All right. Y'all, please have a great day. And if you come up with any questions later, please drop them in the comments and I will get back with you. And what else? If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. That helps more people to see it, and more people, can start to understand this style of yoga, and that yoga is appropriate and beneficial for people with all kinds of bodies. So I always appreciate when we can share this channel out in any kind of way. All right, have a great day. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye, everybody.